In today's mini webinar, I'm going to talk about how to treat your patients with homeopathic remedies when they come for hair fall. In this video, I'll be talking about androgenic alopecia, alopecia areata, alopecia after illness, during pregnancy, after delivery, with scalp inflammations, infections or allergies, and alopecia due to emotional shock or grief. Welcome to Virtual Homeopathy. I am Dr. Reshma. Subscribe to this channel as I will be conducting more mini webinars related to practical homeopathic therapeutics. Phosphorus is an important remedy for hair fall. The type of alopecia you find in phosphorus is androgenic alopecia, that is a receding hairline along the forehead and sides of ears. That is what you find in androgenic alopecia. Androgenic alopecia is common in people as they age, and you will find a separate pattern of hair loss in men and women. So in male pattern baldness, what you find is this receding hairline and bald spots on the scalp. In female pattern alopecia, you will see thinning of hair along the crown. Phosphorus is also an important remedy for, in fact, the most important remedy for alopecia areata. Phosphorus can also be considered in hair fall for patients with anemia. In anemia, what you see is there is there is diffuse hair loss. So bunches of hair will fall out in phosphorus. Homeopathic remedies for hair fall after illness. Let's see what remedies are there. CARBO wedge, that is an important remedy for hair fall after severe illness. What are some of the severe illness that you can consider for as CARBO wedge as the remedy? Maybe a prolonged course of typhoid, pneumonia, asthma, chronic bronchitis, or even carcinomas like esophageal cancers. CARBO wedge is also a remedy for hair fall after delivery, similar to lycopodium, which is again another remedy for hair fall after delivery. Coming to illness, lycopodium is more indicated for hair fall after abdominal diseases. Just like phosphorus, lycopodium is also an important remedy for alopecia areata. So you have two remedies for alopecia areata now. One is phosphorus, the other is lycopodium. You can consider manzanilla for hair fall after a severe acute diseases. Calicarb is more for hair fall after nervous fevers. Now what are nervous fevers? Nervous fevers are also known as psychogenic fevers. These are psychosomatic diseases that develop after exposure to stress. This is more commonly seen in young women. These young women, they develop high temperature after being exposed to some emotional shock or some chronic stress, and Calicarb is an important remedy for hair fall after such fevers. Acid flour is another important remedy for hair fall after fevers. It is also an important remedy for alopecia areata. So what you find in acid flour, some of the symptoms are there will be itching of the head. A symptom of alopecia areata is when the new hair develops on these bald spots, they will be dry and the hair will break off. That symptom you will find in acid flour as well. Acid flour is also a remedy for baldness. Thallium. Thallium is an important remedy for hair fall associated with thyroid disorders. Now thallium as a remedy, it has a special influence on thyroid gland and adrenal gland. In both hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism, you will find hair fall. They may develop slowly with thyroid disorders. So thallium is an important remedy for hair fall after thyroid disorders. Just like manzanilla, you can consider thallium for hair fall after acute diseases also. There are two types of dermatitis that can occur on scalp. One is the seborrheic dermatitis, where you will find the patient has lots of dandruff and it will be itchy. The scalp is dry but the hair will be greasy and the patient also has burning sensation. Atopic dermatitis can occur on the scalp along with the rest of the body. So just like on the body, the scalp also will be dry, There will be lots of itching and the scalp can become thickened due to repeated scratching. Two more medical conditions that can affect the scalp. One is the ringworm of the scalp, also known as tinea capitis. It is a fungal infection where you will find itchy, scaly, bald patches. And these patches are tender or painful. The hair will become brittle and fall off. The other is the alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune condition, and it usually runs in families. And here, the coin-sized patches of hair will begin to fall out. These patches can become larger. Remedies for that. Two remedies for hair fall with dry eruptions, sulfur and arsenic scalp. They have dry eruptions on scalp with hair fall. In sulfur, the scalp itching is worse at night, and after washing, the scalp can also become thickened. In arsenic scalp, the eruptions will have burning pain. Touching the scalp itself is very painful for arsenic scalp patient. Arsenic scalp is another important remedy for alopecia areata. Remedies for moist eruptions with hair fall are Staphysagria, Mesothelium, Petroleum, Vinca minor and Graphitis. So these remedies, Staphysagria, Mesothelium, Petroleum, Vinca minor and Graphitis have moist eruptions on scalp. In Mesothelium, there will be hard crust on scalps of the patient, and if you raise these hard crust, you will find that there is collection of pus underneath the crust. Staphysagria patient, they may have lice on the head. Staphysagria is an important remedy for hair lice. Graphitis, the scalp is offensive and there will be lots of perspiration on the scalp. Vinca minor is yet another important remedy for alopecia areata. Natramure. Now let's look at natramure. The eruptions on natramure are on the margins of the scalp and the hair will fall out when touched. This type of hair loss is seen in nursing homes. The hair falls out when touched. During pregnancy, there is one important remedy, which is that lachesis is the important remedy, most important remedy for hair loss during pregnancy. And after delivery, you can consider the remedies sulfur, CARBO and lycopodium. After emotional shock, there will be general thinning of hair for several months after a physical or emotional shock. But this type of hair loss is temporary. Now let's look at the remedies. Most important remedy is phosphoric acid for hair fall after grief or anguish. The hair fall is mainly from the sides of the hair, and due to grief, when there is premature graying, one remedy to consider is phosphoric acid for premature graying due to grief. Now two more remedies for hair fall after emotional grief. One is Staphysagria, the other is phosphorus. One remedy related to similar concept, it is sepia. Sepia is an important remedy for hair loss after chronic headaches.